We are live. Hello, folks. Hello, folks. Denobi2 here. Thank you for joining me once again on another live stream. 6 o'clock. It is February the 22nd. And on this live stream, we are going to talk about nothing but Star Wars. Our guest today is going to be Zach. He is working on the audio aspect of his live stream, so he'll be joining us in a minute, but I didn't want to keep you guys waiting too long. So I can look at the bottom of the corner, and he's working on it right now. So he'll be joining us. Star Wars only in this live stream. There's going to be 3 topics that we're going to talk about on this live stream. First one will be Cara Dune. We're going to talk about Cara Dune. We're going to talk about the character of Cara Dune. We're not going to talk about the actress that plays Cara Dune, just Cara Dune. Not going to go too deep into the politics on that. The second is we're going to talk about Boba Fett, that deluxe set that just dropped. I have a few thoughts on that particular deluxe Boba Fett set. And then the third topic, we are going to talk about the current state of the amount of pre-orders that have not been delivered yet for specifically Hot Toys Star Wars. So that's going to be our main 3 topics. I'm getting a note here. Let's see. There you go. Hold on. Apologize. Technical error here. I've been meaning to do a live stream for probably the last couple weeks, and Zach works crazy, ridiculous hours, and the same thing with me. I work some ridiculous hours. Things are just really busy for me right here in Vegas, and I'm pumping in about 45, 50 hours a week. And I know Zach has his shtick out in the East Coast, and he's pumping in the hours too. So I did reach out to him a little while ago, and it's hard when you're working the amount of hours to get synced up. And but he committed. He wanted to rant. He wanted to talk about Star Wars, and I told him, I go, look, I need a soundboard here. I need the Zach man to bounce some ideas here and some thoughts. So, and that's where we're at right now. There's been a lot of announcements with Star Wars Hot Toys, like a ton of stuff. The Shore Troopers, characters that have been teased, Bo-Katan, Boba Fett. A lot of these characters, it was almost right on the money that they were going to be released. It was almost expected. It was almost expected that we would get a older version of Boba Fett. It was almost expected that we would get what's the other one? Bo-Katan. You know, we're going to get her. It's Katie, played by the wonderful Katie Sackhoff. Love her. I fell in love with her during Battlestar Galactica, where she played Starbuck. Loved that show. Loved the first 4 seasons of that show. 5th season jumped the rails. So that a lot of stuff. Oh, look at that. Oh, Zach the man. So without further ado, because I have a lot of thoughts, he knows he's coming in hot. The one, the only, Mr. Zach. Look at you.
What's up?
How are you? You're a mess. You know that, right? You know you're. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start it. I have faith that Zach will join the live stream. I was educated in I was sharing to the audience right before you joined that you have a very busy, hectic work schedule in the same manner as I do. And we've been trying to get together to do another live stream. And it's like on the week, I work. I make majority of my money on the weekends, and it's just been extremely busy. And there's been so much going on with Star Wars that I need that yin and the yang. And I'm like, the only person I know that I can really bounce those ideas it's you. So yeah. That's where we're at. real quick to the audience, Zach has not been prepped. I told him the 3 topics, so he has his own thoughts with the 3 topics. I shared with the audience, Zach, the 3 topics. First one is going to be first one's going to be Cara Dune. We're going to talk about the character of Cara Dune, not the actress. We're not going to get political here. I don't want the video to get flagged. We're going to talk about Cara Dune, first topic. Second topic, we're going to talk about Boba Fett and that deluxe set that just dropped. And then the third topic, we're going to talk about the current state of the amount of pre-orders for Star Wars that have not been released yet. Cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I will say, first of all, I appreciate you inviting me again, Denobi. It's good to see you again, obviously.
For real, right? 2021.
Yeah. I had a pretty hectic day. Not necessarily at work, but Facebook, man. People are ridiculous on Facebook. Got into a spit spat in one of the groups.
Toxic.
It's toxic.
Toxic. Isn't that what got Cara Dune in trouble? Social media, the pitfalls and the perils and the spiky thorns at the bottom.
Oh, well, that is Twitter. Like, Twitter's a completely different animal. Twitter is like the worst places on Facebook times 100. Twitter's atrociously bad.
Yes.
I mean, well, I would say way worse than any Facebook group that I'm in. But it's those Facebook groups, man. You
want them though. You've always been attracted to that mess, huh? That honey. You've always been to that. It's in your nature.
It's one of those things where that's ultimately where I started. Like when I started collecting, that's one of the first places I went to, and then it kind of got addicting just talking about toys with people that know what they're talking about to some degree. And then it wasn't until I started getting involved with the wrong people that it's like at this point, man, I'm just a cynical, angry person. Like, I'm not going to even try and entertain in anything that I think is not right for the overall good of the hobby. And in this particular instance, somebody was saying, made a post in one of the groups saying that we should all be fortunate. And this is honestly a good topic too. It's like saying that we should all be fortunate, because of the time we live in. They're able to make all these movies with all these superheroes from like the 80s based on your comic books that you would read. So he was basically saying, it's like, we should be fortunate that, Disney's making all these movies and that these companies are making all of these amazing collectibles. And, I was like, first of all, no, that's, we shouldn't be fortunate for that because it's not free. First of all, if anything, be fortunate that you can, you live in a society that you can go to work, make the money and buy the stuff. But I don't believe in, being fortunate for a product, because once you start
I get you. Okay.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
I will agree with you in a little of that statement. I do feel fortunate to live in an era where comic book characters have been elevated to a certain point of respect, with the MCU and so forth. As far as the merchandise and be fortunate, you're right. That comes at a hefty price.
It's absurd. I mean, even to some degree with like the movies, it's a little different. Does Disney want everyone to walk around being like, oh my God, I'm so fortunate for you guys for making these multi-billion-dollar movies that you guys make? Yeah, they want you to do that, especially the companies that are making merchandise. They want you to feel grateful and fortunate, because that way they can eventually be like, you know what, these people are just grateful that we make this stuff and they still buy it. Let's make it worse, but charge more money.
Which, yes, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. And I'm going to use that, and I'm going to segue to the first topic, which I'm going to bounce some ideas on you. Let's look at the character. She's on the screen right now. It's Cara Dune, and show that right there if I can see it. So the character of Cara Dune has sparked a lot of debate on social media. I'm not on Facebook and I'm not on Twitter, but I do roam Instagram and I do roam Reddit. I love Reddit. You know, I love Reddit. And a lot of people feel that it was a missed opportunity not to have capitalized on Cara Dune, on an actual Hot Toys version of Cara Dune. And I have thoughts about that, because as for me personally, as much as I love this character, I do enjoy it. You know what? I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take the word love. I enjoy her character, but to use the word emotionally connected and love, would that mean would I drop X amount of dollars to purchase her to purchase it as a Hot Toys figure? And that's really what I need some of your input on, because I feel the community would if Cara Dune was made into a Hot Toys figure, I think the community would have dropped the ball and would have ignored her.
Oh,
That's what I think.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, it would have been one of those things where the chances are they probably wouldn't have made a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because of the female characters, they typically don't make big production runs, and then everyone would have got caught sleeping on it, and then it would have been valuable when it would sell out. For example, Hela. Everyone slept on Hela. Now it's worth $500. It would have been an incredible figure. It would have been a great figure to have. No one would have bought it.
That's one of my regrets. My logic for Hela was I thought she was going to be discounted, and I was going to pick her up on the secondary market at a bargain. And when
you got real deep into it. Like, you weren't even like, I'm going to pre-order it if they make it. It's like you're like, they're going to make it. People are going to buy it, not want it, and then I'm going to get it on the secondary market for a deal. That's
that's as Hot Toy collectors, we do play with the market at times, don't we?
Oh yeah.
It's not so much for me to make so much of a profit, but it's to look for the best deal. What can suit me and my collection for the best value, so then I can capitalize, and then I can go, wow, look at my awesome little grail and so forth.
Yeah, personally, in my opinion, I do that once at least once it's confirmed that they are making one. I'm not going to go that deep into it, because I let's be real. I mean, I don't want to be too presumptuous here, but I don't think they're going to be making one
for no. I think it's done. No, I'm with you on that now. I think the actual character has been canceled, as well as the actress, and that ship has sailed. And the whole spike in the market for the character, for the Black Series, it's just to kind of hold on to a piece of her, because she's slowly being snapped out of existence. So you need something now. So if you don't have anything to symbolize the character of Cara Dune in your collection, well, that's what would greatly affect the market for Black Series.
Yeah, and I mean, you typically can see that coming too. I honestly was quite upset in myself that I didn't immediately start hitting up all these websites trying to buy them up as quickly as possible. I see my main man in here, Cletus. Cletus is a big time reseller of Funko Pops. And we're in the game. We follow a couple of people, and there was some dude on Instagram that I mean, as soon as they announced the news that they're firing Cara, he went on and he bought up every figure he could for $15, and then turn around and sell them for $200. Personally, I think the market in something like that at some point finds an equilibrium where people just aren't going to see the value there, and it'll drop. I think at its peak, that figure, that little action figure is going to be worth like $60. Paying $200 for it is absurd, and you're falling into the hype.
Oh yes, absolutely. The character of Cara Dune in the Star Wars Black Series, she was a peg warmer. I remember going to Target. Yeah, and there's like 2 or 3 versions of her. In fact, I remember when I picked up my Cara Dune right here, I wasn't even chasing her. I wasn't I wasn't even changing. No, I think I went hunting one time. This is because that's a 2019 release. This version here for you folks, this was released in 2019.
Yeah, I gave mine away because I was just sitting in my box and it's like I was doing this gift exchange, not last Christmas, not the Christmas last month, but the one before that. We did a Christmas exchange with one of the groups, and I gave that away. And it's like I texted the guy the other day. I was like, "Man, give me my shit back, man."
You packed Cara Dune with like fruitcake for like a gift exchange? Oh, I would have been sour, dude. What? If you had a,
it was a. I think I threw in like a Mezco figure too. It was like a toy community was doing one, and he gave me a Jurassic Park dinosaur, which that's kind of tight. I love dinosaurs. I want the thing back. I feel like there should be a case to be made for me to get it back from him.
Oh, you want to take it back? Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Well, I want to let you know because I did have. I don't know if you can see me on the screen, but I did have my Cara Dune. I did have her shelved away in storage, but because of her the Grail status, I'm going to put her right next to my Saturn V from Tamashi. So she's going to now hang out with like the astronauts, and because now she's a Grail piece now.
Well, she's up there now. Yeah. No, she deserves a spot on that show.
She's she's promoted.
I would even throw that. I would even throw away the. Toss up the idea of possibly sending it off to get graded. That's not a bad idea.
There was, I was trying to do some research, and there was not a lot of merchandise that was released on the character of Cara Dune. I know that they were going to do a vintage Star Wars little 3 3/4 inch figure.
Yeah.
That was canceled. That was never delivered, from what I understand. From what I understand, no one ever received it. And then I don't even know. And if somebody, I'm going to look at the comments here.
Hasbro's come out and said that they are halting production of everything on that character.
Yeah.
Which it begs the question. It's like, man, did this girl like kill a couple of dogs or something?
I don't even, to me, I don't even want to talk about it, the certain words she said, because I just don't even want the video to get banned. So that's why I was like, we got to only talk about Cara Dune. If you want to insinuate something, you gotta hide it behind the character of Cara Dune. Can you see the screen, Zach? I want to show you something. I don't know if you have.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you something here really quick here. This is the only thing. Where is it? This here. Can you see this?
Yeah. They should cancel that statue. They should not make it.
Okay, I don't even know if it was delivered. I don't.
No. That was announced maybe 4 months ago, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. They the way I see it, if we're gonna go down this route,
yeah,
we might as well all. Like if we're gonna do it, let's do it. And in a situation like this, they should stop making this statue, or they're complicit in whatever it is that she was doing.
Yeah,
we're gonna do it. Let's do it.
No, I agree. I 100% agree.
You can't pick and choose. You can't pick and choose when to participate in something whenever it benefits you. You can't do that.
So I did retail in the past, and I know when you submit a purchase order and you submit payment, you're still expected to have that product delivered. If not, you can the distributor can be penalized by the retailer. Meaning, what I'm trying to get with is Sideshow still committed? Can Sideshow override Disney's shenanigans and still have this product delivered? That's the only thing I can't figure out.
I think it would be a matter of if Disney holds Disney's the IP owner, so ultimately it comes down to them. If they didn't want anything to be made of her, then they would go and they would say that, and honestly, that might happen. Who knows? But I think, it's possible that it might get away.
It's interesting, right? Yeah, it's not even the best representation.
It's fucking. It's awful.
It's I mean, if you look at this next photo, I mean, they kind of slimmed her down, and you're like,
Yeah, no,
really?
yeah.
They
Look,
brought
it's
her.
not bad. But,
Yeah, no, it's not a bad statue, but
yeah, man, like
it's a little bit of
that's
creative
not.
liberties there.
I want my Cara Dune to be like, give me that girl as thick as possible.
Me too.
Give me some hit, man. Give me something. Like, no, you know.
Absolutely. I'm very meticulous about the characters that I buy, and I'm really big on their body proportions. If the character is fat, then I want my character that I purchased to be fat. Absolutely, or plump,
Yeah.
or whatever. I'm really and that was one of the things that really griped me with that Toys era of Doc Ock that they did. They didn't get the body proportions right, and it just really annoyed the hell out of me.
Was it too small?
It was, well, they used a off the shelf body, like a medium build, and
God.
Alfred Molina is
Come
a
on.
husky guy, and I'm like, that's not right. That's not.
Yeah.
So, but I'm with you. If Hot Toys was going to make a Cara Dune, I'm pretty sure that they would have added the extra felt or the pattern or whatever to get it, because that's really what Hot Toys is all about. Is for the most part they're pretty accurate.
Yeah, you see, that's actually a good point. I never really thought about, because typically, I mean, every female figure they've done has been of a generic build. Something like this, they essentially they would have had to have made custom arms for it at least, and then padded up the body.
Custom arms. I mean, we're talking like a major retool from top to bottom.
Yeah,
which
honestly, that's probably one of the reasons why they didn't do it.
Yeah, well. You want to play devil's advocate? Why do you think they didn't do it? I mean, look. If you want to be honest, let's put it. I mean, the Tusken Raider was announced and went into pre-order before Cara Dune. The Tusken Raider had one scene. Cara Dune has been featured in seasons 1 and 2, and Hot Toys felt there was more value in a Tusken Raider than the character of Cara Dune.
Well, yeah, because I mean, look at it. You can pump those things out. They're not going to cost a lot of money. The logistics and the back office work on that one is significantly less than Cara Dune.
That's right, because you can use an off-the-shelf body. You can work on the tailor for the outfits and so forth. Versus Cara Dune, you're like, if you're in the R&D department of Hot Toys, you're like, all right, where do we start? You know?
Yeah. And then it comes down to it ultimately, like Hot Toys doesn't at this point, because going full circle at this point, because we're all basically sitting in Facebook groups going, yeah, I'm so grateful for Hot Toys, this company that's making these things and selling them to me for $300. I'm so grateful for that, because everyone's like that. Hot Toys isn't going to be innovative. They don't need to make a Cara Dune figure. People are still going to buy their stuff. Yeah,
no, you're right, and that's if Hot Toys felt that the Hot Toys version of Cara Dune would sell, they would have announced it. I mean, again, they felt more confidence in background bounty hunters from the Night Watch than to give her, right? Isn't that?
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
Yeah. And so when I see Hot Toy collectors in the community argue that we need a Cara Dune, well, you guys are full of crap, because she's in the news and that's what's sparking the interest and so forth, and that's the only reason you would want. But truth be told, that if they did make a Cara Dune Hot Toys, it would be a peg warmer before the whole controversy sitting right next to this thing right here, because this was a peg warmer. I walked in with 3 of them. Nobody was touching her, and that's kind of my argument. Comment from Bob.
Without a doubt.
Comment was, well, he's pointing out that a body proportion for Cara Dune wouldn't need a major overhaul. So that's what he knows. So he's kind of saying that's the thing that I've been trying to tell people, that you can't use an off-the-shelf body for Cara Dune. We're talking a major retool, hold everything, the whole shebang. So for the R&D to go into that, are people going to step up and buy it?
Yeah, and obviously Hot Toys didn't see the value there, and I have no knowledge, whether it's things I've seen on the internet or just from talking to people, that they even had any type of a prototype working. So I think that was just a bunch of hopeful collectors.
we've had multiple versions of Bespin Luke teased
Yeah,
years before Cara Dune gets it. I mean, hell, the last live stream you and I debated on was what's his name? Carlos Esposito. I didn't even think they were going to make him. What's his name? The villain.
Grand Moff.
Grand Moff, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think they were going to make him, but
that's one of the rare times that I was incorrect, man.
Yeah.
And
I was on that. I'm like, they're not going to make they're not going to make the Moff. There's just no way. But Hot Toys felt more confident in doing that than Cara Dune. Hell,
did not see that coming.
At this rate, we'll probably see a Hot Toys version of Carl Weathers be made before. I mean, granted, Cara Dune will never be touched, and it's such an easy. It's so easy to dismiss her in season 3. You know, it really is. People, she's an integral part. No, she's not. She was a character in an RPG that you would visit at a village for help, and then you'd move on to your journey.
Yeah. And then every now and then you have to go sell stuff to her because everyone else is out of money.
There you go.
No, that's the best way to. I literally just finished watching getting up to date on The Mandalorian. I think maybe last night or the night before last. So I'm actually up to date, which I haven't been able to say, but it doesn't seem like they necessarily need her character. I mean, personally, I liked her character, but some of the lines she would deliver, the way she would deliver it, it was a little bit like, come on, man, be a little more natural.
Yeah.
You know Michelle Rodriguez, that yeah. Mm-hmm. She always plays a certain role where it's like
she was typecast in that aggressive female, like
they say words that are like try and go to be cool overboard, and it's like, I'm just not a fan of that. Like, it doesn't seem natural to me. Like,
she's not classically trained. I wasn't expecting much from her.
She's trained to lay the smackdown on you. That's for sure.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's a different. Yeah. I mean, how long did it take for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to get good in acting? I mean, it took him decades. He was doing. Remember Dwayne "The Rock"? He was doing 2 bits on Voyager back in the 90s, and it takes time.
Yeah, and I mean, he's still barely even. I wouldn't even say he's there.
Even there, yeah, he's still kind of phoning it in most times. But it takes time. It takes time to.
That's a good point. And there was just one line where I was like, man, that could have been said 5 or 6 times differently, and it would have been better. It was just too I forgot what she was driving. She was driving like one of the vehicles, and she backs up and she's like, "Come on, get in." I was like, man, like they're gonna get in,
She's playing the that militia grunt. It's. I'm gonna end on this topic. Let me ask you one quick question. If they had made a Hot Toys version of Cara Dune, would you have bought her? Would you have purchased her?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, me too.
Without a doubt. Look,
me too. Out of peer pressure, not because of the drama or anything. I would have bought her because I am trying to focus on building the Mandalorian collection. But honestly, it would have been for peer pressure. The only reason I would have purchased Cara Dune as a Hot Toys.
You would have felt left out.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because I would have been there on the Instagram. You're like, man, if you don't have this figure, you're not even a collector. But no, I definitely look. Some people, there's some controversy over whether or not this is weird or not. But I like collecting female characters. I mean, there's I'm sure you do too. Well, I know you do.
I get it.
Bodies and shit. I don't do that because I'm weird about shit being the way it was when I bought it. But my favorite all-time toy is Maria Hill from Avengers, and I think that's the best Hot Toy figure that's ever been made. I have I think I have almost 6 of them. So
6 Maria Hills.
Yeah, it's kind of like a thing. It's actually probably a weird thing.
More weirder than the Feisen shtick I got going on?
No, not that weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, not that weird. But it's up there.
It's up there. All right.
Yeah, and then like the more I talked about it, the more it became a thing. So it's like the more I had to buy. But no, anytime they're going to release a female character, I think anybody's got to buy it because down the road it'll be worth more.
All right. End of topic one. We are going to segue into the wonderful. I'm saying that with a little peppered sarcasm here. The wonderful Boba Fett. On the screen there, the Boba Fett deluxe version. You haven't reviewed this on your channel, have you? I didn't.
No.
Have you shared any thoughts on it?
No. I'm trying to cut back on the negativity in my life.
You wanna? I'm gonna try not to be negative about it.
Look, it looks great. It's awesome. It's just, I mean, look, back in the day, this was long before I was a collector. Back in the day, they released a figure, and I say back in the day, this is like 7-8 years ago. They released a figure called the DX07, and this was 2 Luke Skywalker figures, and it retailed for $280.
$250.
$250. And that is to this day one of the best ones that they've released. Everyone wants it, and but I look at this, it's $490. $495. Really?
Excuse me, sir.
Look, $495.
Zach, if you want to be more specific about the price, why not add some tax and some shipping and see what you get?
Yeah, let's go there too. Because now, I mean, unless you are smart enough to kind of figure out like, okay, let me buy from a smaller retailer that's not going to charge me tax.
Yeah,
you're going to be looking at $45, give or take, for taxes, and then an additional, let's call it $32, Denobi, on shipping. Right there, you're knocking the door. You're knocking on $600 door. Like.
I came up the best case scenario if you're going through Sideshow. I came up with 560.
Yeah. And look, when I show up with $560, $570, I'm going to want something to answer that door, and that's not it.
No.
That's an atrocious pricing.
I figured you would pick up on that while everybody. So what I am seeing from the Hot Toys collectors community are, how to put this in the nicest way, rookie reactions being swooned by the shiny little sparkle keychain. Does that make sense? Yeah, where collectors are like, oh my God, this is it. My life is complete. Yeah. I need it. And yet, when it comes time to deliver, I've also noticed on the other side of the spectrum, a lot of cancels. I've noticed a lot of rookie collectors, and I say that in the nicest way. If I'm calling you, I think you folks who might know, I've noticed a lot of people are quick to push the pre-order button, and then when it comes time to bat, well, I had to cancel it because I had to get this and this and that and this and that.
Which is that's the stupidest thing in this world.
It happens a lot.
It does. It's like, how are you going to give away just $35?
Yes, a lot.
You shouldn't be in this game if you can at least front the money to just even resell it.
No. Now I'm not attacking. I'm not attacking that. Oh, I didn't have them. That's fine. I completely understand that if you don't have the funds. What I am trying to stress, and let me look at the comments because I'm probably
no offense to anyone.
What I'm trying to really hammer in is that don't do day one pre-orders. And
there you go.
Situation. That's it.
Let me add on this too. Not to offend anyone who can't, maybe he's in a tight spot, can't afford it at the end of the day when it's time to actually pay for it. But the way I kind of see things too, if I'm being bluntly honest, is, if you weren't going around making poor financial decisions like that, then you probably would be overall in a better financial position.
Yes.
Because I believe that's how,
I agree.
The same reasons that keep me from pre-ordering stuff day one is the same reasons that that it's basically the same mentality and thought process that I built my career on. It's all the same.
Yeah.
So it's giving away money that you shouldn't do.
And this is something too I wanted to share with the audience, because I didn't share with Zach any of my opinions on the Boba Fett, and I wanted to see if he was on the same wavelength about the constant amount of day one pre-orders and the amount. I mean, it's not even speculation. I do watch other reviewers on their channels. I do watch other live streams, hot toy collectors. I like to see what's going on out in the community, and I see them literally confess that, I just was a day one pre-order and I canceled it. Mm-hmm. My argument is, please stop that, because it is screwing up the market. It is screwing up the inventory, and which we're going to segue into the third segment, which we're going to talk about on that. That's one of the reasons I'm like, I need to get out and I need to scold some of these rookie hot toy collectors. They're messing it for the rest of us.
Yeah,
right? And it's nothing about
totally fair.
Yeah,
that's totally fair. You look. Let's be real. The world's a little different now, but back in the day, you walk into second grade, and if you got polka dotted shoes on, people are gonna come at you. And you're gonna know not to wear you're gonna know better than to wear polka dotted shoes the next day if you're a male. It's part of the balance. And you make a rookie mistake like pre-order in day one. I honestly, I've been told that that's kind of like a prestige thing. So you go around saying that
it's peer pressure. It's peer pressure in the community.
Yeah, that's absurd.
It's peer pressure in the community. So I'm gonna play advocate here, and I'm gonna if I don't know if you can see the screen, but I'm gonna educate the Hot Toys Star Wars collectors out there that are watching this video. The poor historical track record of Star Wars 2-packs. And I want you to look at the screen. So Star Wars 2-packs typically will not sell out. In fact, if anything, they tend to sit and collect some dust. All right. Star Wars, listen to me, folks out there. Star Wars 2-packs will sit and collect dust. And I don't want to hear, I will argue with you about, but it's Boba Fett. It's Boba Fett. It'll sell. It's a day one pre-order. I'm gonna call shenanigans, because listen to Denobi 2. Star Wars 2-packs do not sell right away. I'm gonna say this one more time, and I'm gonna stop with the rant here. Star Wars 2-packs. Do you want me to keep going? Star Wars 2-packs will always sit and collect dust. We are back to a Star Wars 2-pack here. All right. So what I'm asking, and I'm not talking to you, Zach, I'm talking to the audience. I'm gonna look at the camera. Please stop with the day one pre-orders and throwing the market off. I get it. Most of you guys out there, you want your collections to be pristine. You want it. You want that one off, like I got it, nobody else does. Well, you do that by not day one pre-ordering and then canceling when it's your turn to bat. Yeah, that's what's screwing it up.
And I see where this guy had said, hey, earlier, and I'll give him a shout out, the Everyday Collector. He said Tarkin and Vader are all gone. But hey, they're all gone and they're highly sought after. But that figure sat on the shelf for quite some time.
It did.
And that was before they started just they started just ordering these things like wild men, where they're they used to put an order in for, maybe 2,000, 3,000 figures. Now they're putting in orders of 6,000, 7,000 because, we can do that because everyone's just grateful that we're doing it. Yes. You see, I'm still hung up on that, Denobi.
Zach,
you can't have that mentality. Let me really quick. I need to because I've been wanting to comment on this guy's video because I found it funny. I was like, his channel is called The Everyday Collector, and I saw a review he made of the Godfather figure that I would highly recommend anyone checking out. But it's like, it's kind of contracts the everyday collector, but yet you're reviewing one of the most expensive Hot Toy figures ever, because the Godfather is one of the rarest ones on there.
It is. Yes.
So that's not really everyday collector, more like the 1% collector.
The everyday collector, Tarkin and Vader all gone. Tarkin is actually worth a pretty penny. And why is that, Zach? Why would Tarkin increase in value? Because nobody decided to pre-order him.
Yeah, and he's a one-off. How many Vaders do you need?
Yeah, so Tarkin was not a highly sought character during the pre-order phase, so they made a small batch.
And the single figure pack sold out, almost immediately. And then people waited because they're like, well, I don't want to spend $490 or $400 whatever on a 2-pack just for one figure. And then whenever people started wanting them and the hype got up, then people were like, okay, let me just buy the 2-pack and get it over with. So that's why ultimately why the 2-pack sold out. But dude, there's no logical reason to pre-order really anything day one, especially if it's because you're afraid it's going to sell out. These figures aren't going to sell out. Has anyone seen the amount of stock recently that's available on the biggest distributor ever? There's over 110 figures. That's absurd. Whenever I started collecting like 3 years ago, you'd be looking, there'd be like 8. Mm-hmm. Iron Man Gold Midas is in stock right now. I didn't even think
it should not be. It should be gone. Yeah.
So it's either one of two things. Either they overestimated the market because they thought, oh, well, everyone's going to want these things because everyone likes this stuff now. It's mainstream. Or no one's buying them. Yeah, I think it's a little mixture of both. But generally speaking, I think they're making too many of them.
They're making too many of them. We just came out of a wacky year. And the amount of pre-order deliveries, and I'll sympathize because I got hit really hard. All the stuff that was back-ended when the pipes were cleared and all that stuff started delivering. Yeah, it really, you're right. It like, what the F? Like, so I can 100% sympathize with that because I got hit like, oh my God, all these pre-orders that were backed up are not being shipped. Like, I gotta play this and juggle this and that.
$2,000.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. So I get it. But what's happening is, and a lot of them are trying to attack the Hot Toys MCU line about why the empty stock. Well, if you cats out there would just actually commit to your pre-orders and not cancel because of the next shiny new dangly thing that's in front of you, then we wouldn't have an excessive abundant amount of stock. But you're right. It's a little bit of everything. It really is.
It's really concerning for the overall hobby because look, I've studied a lot about some of the top financial bubbles. More specifically 2008 and the financial crisis. The similarities there and stuff like what I'm seeing with this is I mean it's basically twins when you look at the rapid rise and then trying almost, I say, in a sense, getting greedy and going a little bit bigger. And then something happened and it's floating around. And then all of a sudden it just popped like that almost overnight. So it's concerning to see that amount of inventory because there's a supply and demand equilibrium. And they just completely, they've thrown that thing out the window. It doesn't exist because the more supply that's there, it lowers the demand.
So wait, I'm going to pause you right there. Who are you blaming? Are you blaming Hot Toys? Are you blaming the collectors? Are you blaming the distributors? Because Sideshow is ultimately responsible for purchase orders and so forth. They can fulfill their pre-orders and then they can ask for more, right? I'm assuming Sideshow kind of works in the same way as a traditional retailer. They share their pre-order numbers with Hot Toys, and then they get an extra pad.
Hot Toys, yeah. Hot Toys base, just like anything else, like you said, none of this information that I'm saying is anything proprietary. It's not because I got from anyone that has, firsthand knowledge. I'm just a collector. I got to put that disclaimer out there. This is based off of just industry in general. Typically, the main distributor collects pre-orders, gets everything from their retailers, and then sends an amount to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer makes it off of that. I wouldn't blame Hot Toys.
Okay, that's what
Hot Toys. Yeah, Hot Toys is.
Yeah.
They're stuck in at Secret Base. Buying direct from them is pretty. It's still they're sought after. Not as much as they were, but they still are. But I mean, down here in the States, it's gotten absurd.
What real quick, I got a question here that I'm confused on from Mr. Bob. Are we past a tulip mania for 6 scales? I'm not exactly sure what you mean.
Not quite. I wouldn't say we're past it. Bob Dylan. This thing is the tulip mania was back about 300 years ago. Is a tulip bulb? It became so artificially inflated. The perception value of it rose to where it's like you could essentially, buy a house for the cost of a tulip, and then overnight, because it was all artificial, it collapsed. Yeah, and you are left with essentially what's just a tulip, because people weren't buying the actual value; they were buying the perceived value, and that's where things get dangerous. There's a difference between a product's value and then what it essentially what it's selling for. Two totally different things.
I'm going to finish off on this Boba Fett Deluxe. Something else too about it is that we're not done with him yet either. We still have this version here, if you can see. We still have this one here. That's the cleaned version of Boba Fett. So I'm guessing, depending on the performance, I know, and I'm with you too. I'm like, I don't know. You're right. I don't. We're not even done with Boba Fett yet. We're not. They're milking them to the.
I watched that episode. I watched that episode. It was last night, and that's the first thing I thought. I was like, wait, why did Hot Toys make the one that's not painted?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cooler, I think, but
I'm sure it'll be like a Toy Fair exclusive, right? It'll be something that they're gonna or something. I do. I'm going to segue to the third segment here, but I wanted to touch on a point with you here really quick because I saw one of your reviews last week on this guy here, and I'm tired. If anybody who's followed me, I love my Star Wars droids, and I don't like the anti-love that my boy here, Dark Trooper, is getting.
That thing's a beast.
That thing is a beast. I'm even willing to theorize that there's going to be minor die-cast components in it.
It's good. It's going to have to.
It's going to have to.
At least like a K2SO.
Yeah. If you look at the description on the Dark Trooper, it has very similar description tactics to K2SO. So I do believe that. And you know what? This is a perfect example. We're going. Oh, you know what? This is perfect. Because the third topic, we're done with Boba Fett. The third topic, I'm gonna title it "The Hot Toys Short Squeeze." All right, the whole thing with the whole market and everything.
Yeah.
This right here would be a perfect example where everyone's making excuses or they don't like the character, they don't perceive its value, and it's for that same reason why I would feel like, oh my God, everybody's ignoring this specific character. This character is going to blow up. And this is a character that I can't sit on it because I didn't even have it pre-ordered. I was actually just going to wait till it arrived and just pick it up. But through internet land, through the YouTube community, there's just been this, not hostility, this like, you can pass on the Dark Trooper, which is telling me like this thing is going to blow up.
It's going to. The biggest thing I think is going to come down to first is going to be production, which I'd imagine is probably going to be very, very low. Also, are there going to be any additional moments with that character in the series, especially anything defining? But that could potentially be overshadowed by the figure coming out and it being very bulky and having a lot of die cast and everyone loving it, and then there's a massive run on it.
You're right.
Ultimately, I think it is definitely. I think it's a smart buy because like you said, that thing's going to be hefty.
Yeah, I do. Third segment, folks who are just joining in. I want to point out. I want to call it the short squeeze, because as collectors, we can't keep day one pre-orders and cancel on this stuff, because what happens is the shelves are fully stocked, and it's not. I'm not trying to preach resale or anything, but I am aware that a lot of you do enjoy that glorious holy grail status, like, wow, this is unique and it's cool. Not so much about reselling it on eBay or anything, but there's something sour about buying a figure at retail, and because it's still sitting there at Sideshow, and the secondary market can now offer it at a really hefty discounted price. Another perfect example of the short squeeze that I was able to capitalize on is the stealth suit Spidey.
Spider-Man and Nebula. You're sleeping. Anyone that has not bought the deluxe version from Toy Buying Agent, you're sleeping. $210 shipped.
Yeah, paid
home.
$155. I just wanted the single version, less than retail. Yeah,
that's
me too many.
That is it. It's insane that has not sold out. I've been posting it on Facebook. It's like, man, what are y'all doing sleeping on this?
Yeah.
Don't come complaining to me, a year from now that you don't have any figures, or that figures are too expensive. Whenever they put the deal in front of your lap, Denobi, people just don't want to pick up on it.
No,
I can't even deal with that.
No, it's because we've never had anything like this before.
Yeah, I love the Hong Kong market, and my old bud Justin, God bless his soul, he has completely destroyed the Hong Kong reseller market. And it's vicious, and what it's doing is it's lowering the price, making it competitive and making it affordable. Oh yeah, you never could get like a figure like that Spider-Man for less than what you could get in America. That was unheard of.
Right?
Oh God, yeah.
Below Sideshow. I mean,
it's literally below. It's below retail. Because these guys are buying these figures. In fact, I'm actually in the middle of editing a very, very helpful video that's going to outline how the system works over there. But basically, they're buying these things at roughly about a 30% less cut than what we are in America.
Yes, it's about 30.
It's about 30, give or take. So they're essentially selling them at the cost, because they probably bought too many, and they're trying to clean out some ways so they can free up some cash for more pre-orders. But even back in the day, I mean, before Justin became somewhat high profile, there wasn't that much focus on that. Now, man, there's a huge market and people selling overseas, and it's getting competitive. They're undercutting each other. They're not they have no control of the market over there. One guy will be, let me drop my price $2, and the other guy comes in, I'm gonna drop $2 lower. Before you know it, you're scooping up Nebula for $205, shipped without taxes.
That's insane. Yeah.
And research says that you can figure that every Hot Toy figure, there's like a 2%, or I think it was like 4% of Hot Toy figures, at no point in their extended life, their value increases. But aside from that, you can factor in at minimum at least an 18% return on the money you put in, guaranteed almost. So you buy that Nebula, buy 5 of them. Trust me, whenever eventually they sell out, you're gonna make more money.
Yeah. I've never seen that in the years I've been. I know you started in 2017. I started collecting Hot Toys in 2012. I've never seen it this skewed. I mean, I'm talking like, what's going on here? What?
Yeah.
What is it? Is it us? Is it Hot Toys? Is it Sideshow? Is it 2020? Because I've never seen it this off balance. It never dawned on me about your point that a heavy influencer could be shifting the market. Because you're right.
No.
Yeah.
Whenever I was involved with Justin, we really put a lot of emphasis on in working things to where he could get them, he can guarantee get them as soon as possible. And, he gets us, essentially he essentially owns part of the business over there.
Mhm.
But the emphasis was put on that, and as it grew, these guys started realizing, okay, well, I've been buying, pre-ordering 5 of these figures and selling them for, $50 markup. Let me buy 20 of them, because now people are starting to look our way. And as it got bigger, it started getting bigger, because more and more people started going. So now, and look, that, that's one of the reasons why there was, that was kind of like the I guess you say the foundation of issues that got caused in my personal life, was because someone that I was friends with was promoting all of that, and the effects that it would cause to people that are actually licensed to sell those figures in America, because technically those people shouldn't be selling those in America, because Hot Toys doesn't have the license to sell them, but it's kind of a loophole.
Well, I mean, I spotted off of I think I bought my Spider-Man off of a KG hobby, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the prime. Like, really? I even emailed the owner. He knows me. I was like, is this legit? He's like, yeah. And he goes, I'm sitting happy. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
the stealth suit Spidey. I didn't even want him. I really didn't. But that price, like,
yeah, God, you see, and
yeah,
I got the deluxe edition, because I'm like, I can't pass that up for $210. Seriously, I'm buying a deluxe figure like that for $210. I mean, that's essentially like 40% off. I don't care what I do with that thing.
That's insane.
I'll give it to my son. That just, you got to take advantage of the deal.
Completely insane. So
I paid more money for this hat, Denobi. True story. I paid more money for this hat than than you did for your Spider-Man. I got deluxe edition a little more, but I paid $130 for this fucking Hot Toy licensed hat. But look, it's real though. It's perfect. It's
the list that I'm going to show up, I'm going to cycle 3 pages on here. There are about, actually it's probably 29 now. There are about, no, actually 30 if you add the deluxe Boba Fett. There's 30 Star Wars Hot Toys figures that are in pre-order that have not been released.
Going back to the Last Jedi.
Not been released. Looking at the first here, the child has been released, but I can add the deluxe Boba Fett in its slot, so it still add to 30.
And there's no point in denying that they started pushing out some of that Mandalorian stuff early to get it released earlier than.
And were you the one that noticed too that they seem to be focusing all their labor towards the Mandalorian merch?
Yeah.
Get it out even before delivery. Before delivery.
They got to, because you got to understand that and whenever some of this stuff is slated to release, there's a good possibility that Star Wars isn't going to be the hot item, anymore at that point. I mean,
it could change. Yeah, you're right.
Look what happened with, no one thought that all of a sudden everyone was going to be collecting Star Wars again after the MCU went down.
It's insane. I mean, looking at this page here, it seemed like somebody at Hot Toys just clicked the clone button on Trooper, Short Trooper, Area Trooper, Sky Trooper, Speeder Trooper. If you can add something to the word Trooper, you're going to get it.
This right here, my friends, is the start of the fall. It's the beginning of the end. I mean,
I feel that way too. Like a doomsday. Yeah, you're right. I feel like, oh my God, there's going to be a crash. It feels like there's a crash. I'm like these whoever's out there, they're messing things up with them. I mean, all this stuff is going to sit and collect dust on the shelves, and there will be no incentive to pre-order it if I can pick it up through Hong Kong retailers at a discounted price.
Exactly. And then no one's going to want it if you can easily get it.
Yeah. No, it's insane. We don't even have, which I don't understand what Hot Toys. I mean, they missed the ball on the whole Empire Strikes Back anniversary. We should have had more of the anniversary. And they just didn't. I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither. And look, if Howard's watching, which I'm sure him and JC are watching because they always watch my stuff, obviously. Look, I'll come on as an overseas consultant for a fairly small fee of a couple of figures a year. You don't even have to pay me money; just pay me in every figure released, and I'll show you what to do. I'll get you guys out this hole.
I mean, they still get paid, don't they? They're kind of like Hasbro. Hasbro doesn't care about distribution because Hasbro, as a toy company, their job is to fulfill purchase orders.
Yeah.
They don't. Hasbro, for the most part, they don't care. Oh, I can't find the Black Series in my local Target. Well, it's not Hasbro's fault. Hasbro would love to fill the purchase order if Target would ask.
Correct.
For X amount.
But where it affects them is because they're not diversified. They're basically hedged up into one location, one outfit. So, imagine if Hasbro's only distributor was Toys R Us.
Yes. Yeah.
Not to mention that, the one thing that Hot Toys has an effect is their value of their brand. Regardless of if you get paid for distribution or not, if no one buying them, distributors aren't going to buy them. But yeah, Hot Toys, there's something going on there, but yeah, across the pond, there's a whole bigger issue, I believe.
Yeah. There's
even
Funko. Labor. It's all speculation at this point. Something is. I don't. As a
you guys heard it here. Let's just say that.
Well, yeah, and my job at this point is that I do want to collect more of the Star Wars Mandalorian characters, but I'm going to gauge the market. I'm going to play the market, right? I want the best deal. And
you look so cool saying it with that jacket like that and your beard. It's like, man, that's so badass, Denobi. You are the man.
Yeah. I want to help. I want everybody that's watching that we can control this, right? If you guys are out there, if you folks out there, I hate using the word guy. For me, I like to cater to everybody. I use the word folk or folk.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What about the women? What about the women? Are you talking to them or no?
Well, the folks caters to both genders. That's why I like using the word folk. Hello, folks. Didn't know you. Anyway, you're throwing off my rant here. We can control this. We as collectors, we can control. You guys are getting you folks are getting tired of the amount of inventory that's collecting dust. There's a ton of. I've never seen this before. Zach has never seen this before. Listen to us. Stop with the bull day one pre-orders. Let it arrive. Then make an educated decision on your purchase. Stop going on live streams and making excuses that you have to cancel because something else around the corner looks prettier or something. I get it. We all want the good stuff, but we have to kind of take control on it.
Yeah, you got to.
We have to. We have to. There's a reason why Tarkin blew up. Nobody pre-ordered him.
Yeah.
Hela blew up because nobody pre-ordered him. Yeah. Will there be a reissue? Well, according to my honest opinion, with reissues, it's been localized with the Iron Man suits for the most part. We have seen reissues on Han and Chewie. You remember that back in the day? Remember when the original Han and Chewie sold out, and then Hot Toys panic, and then they did like a.
I wasn't. That
was 316
back then.
Yeah. Back then. Okay, that was it for. That's for There was a big issue with that, and the market blew up with the original Han and Chewie, and then they did a reissue, and it was the first time.
And look, that was a different market too.
It was the first time we'd ever seen a reissue, and I thought the sky was falling.
And look what happened.
Yeah.
Look what happened. That's why you can't allow. You gotta monitor, and you gotta be critical of certain behaviors like that. Look, I don't want to give myself props, but I take a lot of flack for not being the most positive outlook person on a lot of these releases. Basically, because I'm not, I don't just drink the Kool-Aid, Denobi.
I know you.
I like to ask what's in it first. And some people don't like that, Like some people don't like it. I'm not going to just drink the Kool-Aid you're giving me. I'm going to ask what's in it. And I believe that's important for the balance of of the overall checks and balances, because if you just buy, it doesn't matter what the Hot Toys could package a 6-inch turd, and everyone, if everyone's buying it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Listen to us, folks. Those shiny, beautiful, dangly things. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. They're so precious, and they want you to hit that pre-order button on that non-refundable deposit. And I know what it's only $30 to nobody. It's only 40. Man, that stuff adds up. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That stuff adds up.
You do it three times.
It's so we in the community, we can make a big difference. With PRC exerting more influence on Hong Kong, do you see Hot Toys ever moving their headquarters? I don't think so. It's a privately held Hong Kong company, right, Zach? I don't ever see it'll never, unless it goes public, which Hong Kong does have. They do have their own stock market out there. So Hot Toys could technically go public.
Yeah,
for them to go. Can you imagine? Oh my God, I would learn their language just so that I can look at their books if the company ever went public.
Oh yeah. Me too. Dude, I
would learn it just so that I can read their books.
I would be in on the IPO day one, and then I wish obviously that's a ridiculous thing if they would do that, but if they would, that would be pretty neat. Because man, I would go crazy on that shit because I know a lot about it.
Me too.
I'd be,
I would have
freaking
who's on the board,
orders out, all kinds of stuff.
I want voting access. Who's on the board? Who made this decision? Who did that? Who's getting paid for what? I want to know it all.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. Because probably I don't know what it's like in overseas markets, but generally speaking, with a certain amount of percentage, you get invited to the stockholders meeting, all of that. It's like, if Hot Toys ever goes public, there's no way I'm not going to own 15% of that company. No way.
I would love to. Anything that I can get my. Oh my God, I would love. I
want in there calling some of the shots.
I would want enough so that I can vote. I mean, technically, you only need a few shares to vote, right? But I just want voting power. I'm like, I want to be able to.
Depending on what the initial offering would be. I mean, generally speaking, you figure, if you get 1%, you can get a pretty good voting stake. But no, I want to go in. I want to go in and with a spot at the table.
Yeah,
and that's gonna. I figure that at least cost me 15. That's gonna cost me at least probably 15%. I have to buy, but I don't know. I don't know if I would have enough to make it on the board, but I would at least be your assistant if you do make it on the board, and I can bring your coffee just so that I can overhear their decision. Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, I would go in with a huge entourage. You have you and a handful of other buddies coming in for the meetings, and what are they going to do about it if I own 15% of the company? I'll just cash out my Tabasco money that I inherited and be like, turn it over into toys.
This was fun. This was so. If I put up my little pre-order list that I made, and there's going to be points in the year where there's going to be multiple drops of Star Wars related characters, and I can tell you, going back to Boba Fett here, and his projected arrival date of April 2022, if it does arrive on that month, if it does. Do you think it'll arrive sooner or later? I think it'll arrive sooner. To be honest,
maybe a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be anything crazy.
You don't think it'll? Well, projected as April. I think it'll show up early just to capitalize on the third season.
Well, like I said, it depends on what he does in the season, and if it looks like people are going to. But like you said, at the end of the day, for the most part, Hot Toys has a good majority of their money that they get in by then. It takes about takes about probably 9 months, I'd say, for them to get a bulk of their money to get the thing rolling.
Didn't they just release a figure that was under 9 months? The Mando figure. Which one was it? That was the shortest. We've never seen that.
I think the Beskar one.
The Beskar one with the little child. Yeah, we'd never seen it before. It arrived early. I suspect and you guys can use me. I'm theorizing that this Boba Fett is going to arrive a little bit early, or even on its arrival date, and is going to collide with other estimated arrivals from the Star Wars universe.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's still there's still the Last Jedi.
We still have Rey and Dio. We still have Kylo Ren. There's a lot. We still have the Luke from Empire is slated to arrive around the same time as Boba Fett. You have the Heavy Mando just came out in Hong Kong, but I haven't received mine yet.
Clearly,
I think they're making deliveries on that now.
They're bumping up all the Mandalorian stuff, but and
let's not forget, and just look at the Clone Wars. There's a crap load of Clone Wars. So if you're just dedicated to the Clone Wars, there's a ton of stuff here.
Yeah,
for Clone Wars that will arrive, that will enter Earth's atmosphere around that same time as Boba Fett. So it's when this stuff happens, Zach, is then when the pressure builds up, and then collectors start to panic and start canceling pre-orders.
Oh yeah,
they need to fulfill their commitments to what's hot, what's arriving, and whatnot.
Look, you got to be swinging pretty big if you get hit with those. You know, it's happened to me a bunch of times whenever I would pre-order with them. When you get hit those emails back to back, you get 6 of them. You know, it's $1,500-$1,600. You know, that's like, you know, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You gotta have some bread for that.
You sure do. You sure do. We don't even have the
man. Look at what guys. What a time to be alive. Look all those Star Wars troopers. I can't believe, man. We should be so grateful for all that.
Yeah, this is
time to be alive.
Well, how about Marvel? We're not even. I mean, most of us still have Marvel pre-orders that haven't been fulfilled yet.
Yeah, we just got Captain from Endgame.
Yeah. Yeah, we just got that. We don't have Iron Patriot yet. You know, he's coming in hot.
Yeah, true.
We have
everyone's burned out. They burned us out with that lead up from Infinity War into Endgame. We're all burned out, and then you got coronavirus.
Yeah.
Everyone's just. It seems like everyone's just burned out in the hobby.
Yeah. Yeah, it really threw us in. Really messed us up. I think we are done. Any final thoughts, Mr. King Zachary?
No, it's always a pleasure to Nobi to get on and talk to someone of your stature and esteem in the community. I do want to just pay tribute once again to my hat. It cost me $125. It wasn't worth it, but I got to wear it and talk about it. That way I can make it feel like it's worth it. Just letting you know. So you got inside there's Howard's autograph on it too. So it was worth it.
I want to ask you a quick question without flagging the video. Are recreational gummies allowed in Louisiana?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Yeah, no, none of that stuff is that. People are already buffoons down here. You can't give them any buffoon additive like that. Right. You know that.
All right then. So then on your next visit to Vegas, I'll take you to some of the collectible toy shops.
Oh yeah. Now that I know somebody, like, oh god, yeah. No, it's probably best that travel stay restricted because man, I get in Vegas, it's bad news. I'll just say that, man.
It's crazy. The friends that commit to visit me in Vegas because they know I live in Vegas. For half of them never make it to meet me in person because something wild usually happens that distracts them.
Yeah, you see, I get caught up on gambling on the tables, and then one thing leads to another. There's such a high volume of girls working that you can't tell. You just can't tell.
Well, it's very liberal, and
you're a married man, so I'm sure you don't dabble in that. But
the kids are around, so I have to.
Yeah, in my experience, it's
family show.
Yeah. I get insecure over there a lot, feeling like, because I don't have a problem with, it's like girls talk to me a lot, but over there it's like, man, what, it's tricky to engage.
Well, people here like things different. You don't have the accent, the Cajun accent, unless you suppress it, unless you're suppressing it for the video.
Oh God, yeah. Okay. I do not talk like this at all.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Yeah, no. You could not understand a word I would say if I naturally spoke.
That's awesome. So then you gotta come to Vegas, and then I'll buy you a few drinks so I can hear the Cajun.
Oh yeah. The
accent. Speaking of Louisiana, though, my wife just ordered a king cake. Bakery there, for Fat Tuesday.
Which do you know which bakery?
No, but my kid bit into a little baby.
Yeah. He has to buy another one. He has to buy the next one.
Well, she's only 7, so I don't know how that.
yeah. My son's 6, and he did that, and I was like, hey, you got to buy it. You got to buy the next one. And he started complaining. I was like, well, you shouldn't have asked to do that.
Oh God.
That's really big. And probably whoever they ordered it from probably is ships out of the town that I live in. Because some of the best ones are out here. It's delicious.
It was overnight. It was like a 2-day delivery or something like that. It was super fresh, and I love baked goods, and I love king cake, and love all that goodness there.
Yeah, it's delicious.
I've only been to Louisiana a couple times, and that's typically in passing. I've never done the whole beads and Mardi Gras.
No, if you go to New Orleans during Mardi Gras, that is
no.
Oh my God.
No, I've had friends down there, and they've come back broke, robbed, beat up.
Oh God, yeah. You, yeah. I mean, generally speaking, generally speaking, you go to New Orleans at night, you're going to get beat up somewhere, especially if you go down the wrong alley. But no, anything goes over there. It's it's the closest to the Wild Wild West as you can get, especially during Mardi Gras. You can't expel urine in the streets. That's one thing that it's a big no. You don't do that. That's the only way you'll get arrested.
Yeah,
it's true story. The only way you get arrested. You do whatever you want, but if you go to take a piss somewhere on the street or in the alley, they're going to arrest you.
Well, folks, I don't have anything else. We just rambled about Vegas and Louisiana. As always, it's a pleasure. Anytime I can get this dude to come in and rant with me, and anytime I can come in and do my part and help, because I understand there's a lot of frustration in collecting and so forth, and peer pressure, and there's stress. It's collecting hot toys is not it's not for the faint of heart. It's a complicated profession. It'll do you in. Good night. Good night. Denobi 2 says good night. Zach, what do you say?
I appreciate everyone for watching. Thank you again, Denobi. And hey, make sure everyone that you preserve your figures by 303 moisturizing wipes.
What?
Yeah, that's my sign off now. Kind of like Bob Barker had make sure to help control the pet population. Like have your cat spayed or neutered.
Like wipes to
moisturize. Oh no, moisturize your figures. That way they don't crack and dry up.
Those.
Jesus Christ, Denobi! What kind of monster do you think I am?
What are you doing here? I mean, the kids are watching here.
Yeah,
Good night, folks.